AITA for taking my daughter's college fund back after she said she was going no contact. This is one of the hardest things I've ever written because I never thought I'd be here, questioning if I'm in the wrong for something that, deep down, feels like a betrayal from both sides. I, 45F, am a single mom, and I have been for the better part of my kids' lives. My husband passed away when Ella, 18F, and Jake, 16M, were still young. It's been just the three of us for years, and I've done everything in my power to support them, love them, and make sure they have opportunities one didn't. Losing my husband was devastating, but I knew I had to keep going for my children. His life insurance policy, while not enormous, became my way of making sure they had a future, even if I had to sacrifice a lot for it. I started saving immediately after his passing. There wasn't a lot of extra money floating around. I worked full-time, paid for everything by myself, and skipped out on luxuries like vacations, new cars, even sometimes little treats for myself. Everything was geared toward ensuring their future, especially for their education. My husband and I always agreed on the importance of education, and it's something I tried to instill in my kids from an early age. My daughter, Ella, was always so ambitious. I remember when she was 10, she came to me with this pamphlet from a prestigious university, and from that day on, she was focused. "I'm going to make something of myself, Mom," she used to say, and my heart would swell with pride. I knew she had the determination and drive. I wanted to be sure I could help her get there. So, every dollar I saved felt like an investment in her future, in her dreams. But things have changed. Ella started dating this guy, Matt, 19M, about 6 months ago. At first, I thought he seemed fine. He's a bit rough around the edges, but what do I know? Young love is messy and complicated. I didn't want to interfere too much. I always believed in giving my kids their independence. But over the last few months, Ella has changed. She's become distant, colder, and more dismissive of me, and everything feels off. It started small, with her spending less time at home. We used to talk about her day or her plans for the future, and now it's like pulling teeth to get her to engage with me at all. I asked her if everything was okay, and she would say things like, "Stop smothering me, Mom. I'm not a little girl anymore," or "You're always trying to control me." Her words started to sting more and more. One night, we had a big argument. Honestly, I can't even remember how it started, but it escalated quickly. Ella was shouting, saying things I never thought I'd hear from her. "Once I leave for college, I'm done with you, Mom. I'm going no contact. I won't need you or your money. I won't ever look back." Hearing those words, it broke something inside me. All I could think was, after everything I've sacrificed, after all the love and effort I put into making sure she had a chance at a good life, she's just going to cut me out? Like I never mattered? It felt like a slap in the face. I didn't say much then. I just stood there stunned. When she stormed off, I sat at the kitchen table and cried. For a few days, I kept to myself, trying to figure out what to do. I didn't want to make any rash decisions. But I started thinking, if Ella really wanted nothing to do with me, if she was planning to leave and never speak to me again, why should I continue to support her education? The money I've been saving isn't just for her. It's for both her and Jake. If she's going no contact, wouldn't it be fair to take that portion and put it toward Jake's future, or maybe even save some for myself? When I finally talked to her about it, I told her that if she was serious about going no contact, she should consider her college fund off the table. I wasn't going to finance the life of someone who didn't want me in it. She exploded. I've never seen her so angry. She called me manipulative, selfish, and said I was trying to control her with money. I couldn't believe it. All these years, I never once used the college fund to control her. It was never leverage. It was always her future. The thought of withholding it didn't even cross my mind until she said she was cutting me out of her life. But now, standing in the face of her anger, I started second-guessing myself. I talked to a few friends. Some said I'm within my rights. It's my money after all, and I can do with it what I choose. Others said I'm being petty and punishing her for expressing her feelings, that I'm essentially blackmailing her emotionally with the money. I don't know what to think. On one hand, she's an adult now, and she's entitled to her feelings, even if they hurt me. But on the other hand, I can't just ignore the fact that I've sacrificed so much for her, and now she's saying she wants nothing to do with me. Update. After reading the comments, I've realized a few things. First, I don't want to make a decision out of anger or fear of being abandoned. I'm hurt deeply, but Ella is still my daughter, and I'll always love her, no matter what happens. I've also started considering that maybe there's more going on here than I initially thought. Some commenters suggested that Matt might be influencing her or even emotionally manipulating her, and honestly, it's been weighing on me. I've decided to hold off on making any final decisions about the college fund. For now, I'm going to keep it intact. I won't use it for Jake or myself until I've had a real conversation with Ella. I want to make sure she's okay, that this isn't just the influence of a toxic relationship clouding her judgment. If she still decides to go no contact, I'll respect her decision, but I hope we can come to some understanding before then. I love my daughter, and I don't want money to be the thing that drives a permanent wedge between us. So, AITA? Or am I just a mother struggling to protect both my child's future and my own heart from breaking.